Reese says WNBA players could go on strike over salary and benefits.
But the year after, they're going to get more. They're probably going to be making more than us. No, they are.
Who's that?
They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are. I need to get in the. I need to get in the field.
You need to come to the meetings.
I need to get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us. If y'all don't give us what we want, like.
You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life. But go, Rob, just go, give this feedback. Give this feedback here. Go for it.
Angel Reese just stunned the basketball world with a threat that seemed almost unimaginable. She's calling for a WNBA strike if salaries don't rise. The moment she said it, social media practically exploded. And while some fans cheered her on, many did a double take, asking one simple question: can you really demand more money from a league that's been in the red for decades? What's hiding behind Angel's call for action? And how does college sensation Caitlin Clark fit into a WNBA puzzle that's teetering between explosive growth and looming financial collapse? Angel Reese might be new to the professional stage, but she's never shied away from speaking her mind. After her meteoric rise at LSU, a rise that brought her massive name-image-likeness endorsements, she ended up in the WNBA expecting even more. Then came the rude awakening, league salaries that are a fraction of top NCAA endorsement deals, a reality many star players find unsettling. Naturally, Angel Reese expressed her frustration in a big way. On an Instagram Live, she dropped a bombshell. If the league doesn't start paying players what they deserve, there's a chance that they'll just sit out. No more games, no more star power, no more highlight reels until the checks reflect the value they believe they bring. Almost immediately, Twitter, YouTube, and sports talk shows buzzed with one question: is Angel's claim serious, or is it just a publicity stunt? Critics pounced on her words, calling them delusional, pointing to her shaky performance and highlighting the WNBA's precarious finances. One of the most vocal skeptics was Patrick Bet-David, a businessman known for pulling no punches. He brought out the big guns, the cold, hard numbers, and soon the conversation shifted from Angel's personal frustration to the entire league's sustainability. While Angel was making headlines, Patrick was out there dismantling her argument piece by piece, calling it financially absurd. The spark that really caught everyone's attention is that Angel's rookie salary, hovering around $74,000, allegedly doesn't even cover her rent, something she complained about publicly. For the average person, $74,000 is a decent wage, but for someone used to nearly $2 million in annual nil deals at LSU, it felt like a massive pay cut. That's when fans started digging deeper. How can the WNBA offer star players so little compared to the endorsement goldmine they could rake in during college? Is the league truly undervaluing its athletes, or is there simply not enough revenue to go around? Yet, all the social media noise overshadowed another crucial factor. The WNBA has seen attendance and viewership spikes recently, mostly thanks to a different name dominating the headlines, Caitlin Clark. And that's where the drama intensifies. With Angel Reese presenting herself as the star who deserves better pay, some observers wonder if she's ignoring the reality that the league's biggest attention magnet is, arguably, someone else entirely. As this debate boiled over, everyone started asking the uncomfortable question: if Angel Reese and other players walk out, would the league even miss them? Or would it quietly breathe a sigh of relief and keep on ticking, especially if Caitlin Clark stays healthy? To understand why Angel's demands landed with such a thud, you have to know how the WNBA truly operates. Since its inception in 1997, the WNBA has never consistently turned a profit. Year after year, it's operated at a loss. Some call it a passion project, others call it a zombie company kept alive by the NBA, which pumps in millions to ensure that women's professional basketball has a stage. But a stage funded by continuous subsidies is a precarious arrangement, especially for athletes demanding higher wages. The scale of these losses is no joke. Reportedly, the league has hovered around a $10 to $12 million annual subsidy from the NBA. At times, it's reported to have lost as much as $50 million in a single year. This is a repeated pattern that has left critics wondering, at what point does the NBA grow weary of cutting checks to keep the WNBA afloat? It's like a parent who believes in their child's dream of starting a garage band, covering all their expenses with no guaranteed payback. That generosity can't last forever, especially if the band doesn't become profitable. One significant challenge is that the WNBA structure is much smaller than the NBA's. With only 12 teams playing a 40-game schedule, revenue sources are limited. There are fewer tickets to sell, fewer sponsorship slots, and a significantly smaller TV deal. Angel Reese seems aware of the pay gap. She sees men in the NBA splitting 50% of their league's revenue. In contrast, WNBA players get just under 20% of total revenue. But here's the twist: the WNBA's revenue is already so low that it can't sustain large pay hikes. If the players took 50% of the meager pot, it would still be less than many dream of earning, and the owners might hemorrhage even more money. But that wasn't the entire story. Beyond the immediate finances, there's a simmering tension among WNBA players themselves. Some see rising talents like Caitlin Clark as the league's golden ticket, while others feel overshadowed or even resentful. They push for bigger slices of a pie that hasn't fully baked yet. For outsiders, it looks like chaos. One side is shouting for bigger paychecks, the other side points out the league's ongoing deficits, and underlying all of this is an unmistakable swirl of jealousy, competition, and the desire for mainstream respect. Caitlin Clark's name has become the rallying cry for women's basketball enthusiasts. She's not just good, she's generation-defining, the kind of player who dazzles crowds and elevates entire programs. Her transition into the WNBA has sparked record ratings, more sold-out games, and a wave of new fans who tune in just to watch her orchestrate magic on the court. Some call her the Stephen Curry of women's basketball, a sharpshooter and playmaker who breaks defenses and turns casual viewers into superfans. What's remarkable is the tidal wave of data that follows Caitlin Clark. Attendance at WNBA games has soared, hitting over 2.3 million fans across the league, up by 48% from previous seasons. Meanwhile, TV viewership on ESPN skyrocketed by 170%. Even merch sales have spiked by over 60%. Observers aren't mincing words. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. When she steps onto the hardwood, the seats are filled, and the cameras keep rolling. It's precisely the sort of phenomenon the WNBA has been longing for. Someone who can single-handedly shift public perception and deliver real numbers to the league's bottom line. But with sudden success comes friction. While the league obviously benefits from Clark's star power, certain veterans appear uneasy about being eclipsed by a newcomer. Angel Reese herself seemed to relish a star persona at LSU, and stepping into a league where Caitlin's overshadowing almost everyone wasn't what she planned. Some worry the tension could undermine what should be a rising tide for all players. Instead of uniting behind the momentum Caitlin brings, players like Reese appear fixated on their personal slice of the pie, ignoring the bigger truth. No matter how much you want to be paid, the money has to come from somewhere. This friction extends beyond Angel Reese too. There's a sense that established WNBA names might not fully appreciate just how vital Caitlin is. Remember, it wasn't too long ago that the WNBA operated largely unnoticed by the mainstream. Suddenly, here's a phenomenon who's drawing major coverage and giving the league a chance to stand on its own 2 feet. So why not rally behind her? Because envy, pride, and personal ambitions can be powerful forces, and not everyone is happy about giving Clark center stage. A while back, a clip went viral showing Draymond Green basically telling the WNBA, in so many words, grow the game before you demand NBA-level salaries. At the time, legendary Lisa Leslie ruffled feathers by suggesting that NBA players should toss some of their massive paychecks into a pot for the WNBA, a casual donation that might make a big difference. Though she probably meant it half-jokingly, Draymond and others didn't see it that way. He fired back with intense passion, insisting nobody supports the WNBA more than NBA players themselves. In his eyes, implying that NBA stars could casually skip a casino outing to boost WNBA salaries was insulting. He pointed out all the cross-promotion, social media support, and personal endorsements that many NBA players already give to the WNBA without expecting anything in return. But for Lisa Leslie, it seemed like an obvious remedy. If you believe in women's basketball and make millions in the men's league, why not show direct financial solidarity? This public spat illuminated a broader tension. The WNBA relies on the NBA for survival, but there's a growing sense that some WNBA players want more than just baseline support. They want a share that compares favorably to what male counterparts earn, ignoring that the overall revenue simply doesn't compare. Draymond's stance, build your own revenue streams and watch your salaries climb naturally, comes off as tough love. Lisa Leslie's position, the men's league could chip in more, reflects the frustrations of seeing their star players earn a fraction of the men's minimum salary. Caught in the middle are fans who love both leagues and wonder, why can't we have synergy without conflict? The reality is that many NBA teams do promote their WNBA affiliates and encourage fans to attend women's games, but the bottom line remains static if sponsors and advertisers don't open their wallets. That's where star power becomes crucial, and the WNBA finally has a headlining star in Caitlin Clark. Yet ironically, Angel Reese is drawing attention for the exact opposite reason, her combative stance on salaries. At first, the idea of a player's strike might conjure images of the Major League Baseball shutdown of 1994 or the NBA lockout of 1998. Those leagues were pulling in billions of dollars. They had massive TV contracts, enormous fan bases, and owners who depended on the games being played to keep profits rolling in. Walking out was a powerful negotiating tactic because the leagues risked losing tons of revenue. But that wasn't everything. Beyond the strike talk was a subtler, more personal drama. How Angel Reese, who once thrived on social media endorsement deals, suddenly finds herself overshadowed by the quiet, hardworking star from Iowa. Could it be that the league's survival actually hinges on someone other than Reese? And what does that mean for the outspoken star's future? For a while, Angel Reese was hailed as the next big thing in women's basketball. She leveraged her nil deals masterfully, turning social media jabs and on-court swagger into real money. At LSU, she was the face of the program, a magnet for controversy and adoration in equal measure. Then came the professionals, and with them, a humbling paycheck. Suddenly, her narrative shifted from, "I'm building a brand," to, "I'm not earning enough to pay rent." But that shift happened at the exact moment Caitlin Clark started stealing the spotlight with her sensational performances. Fans began comparing the two players incessantly, and Reese's vocal approach invited scrutiny of her actual game. Critics highlighted missed layups, lackluster shooting percentages, and bricklaying jokes that went viral. Meanwhile, Clark's consistent brilliance left no room for doubters. She was the real deal, racking up triple-doubles, draining near half-court shots, and piling up record-breaking stats. With each highlight reel, the contrast grew starker. The comedic side-by-side videos on social platforms only poured fuel on the fire. One player demanded more money yet struggled to polish her fundamental skills. The other quietly elevated the league without boasting or complaining. Beneath the controversies and individual showdowns, the WNBA is slowly moving toward expansion and larger broadcasting contracts. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has made it her mission to secure bigger sponsorships and new team additions, including the much-anticipated Golden State franchise launching in 2025. More teams mean more games, which means more ticket sales, more local sponsorships, and hopefully a more enticing package for TV networks. For the first time in a while, the WNBA's upward trajectory seems plausible. So here we are. Angel Reese is fuming about her WNBA salary, claiming she might not even be able to pay rent. Meanwhile, a larger-than-life figure in Caitlin Clark is single-handedly drawing record crowds, TV ratings, and merch sales, effectively keeping the league afloat. Corporate sponsors are sniffing around, newly intrigued by the rising popularity of women's basketball, and expansions are on the horizon. The entire WNBA stands on a razor's edge, massive growth on one side, potential collapse on the other. And that leaves everyone with a final jarring question. If the WNBA fails to seize this moment, will there be another chance? Because let's face it, talents like Caitlin Clark don't come around every day. For Angel Reese and the rest of the league, it's time to decide. Will they unify behind this unstoppable wave of momentum, or watch it slip away in a whirlwind of internal disputes? Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you side with Angel Reese, who wants immediate pay raises, or do you believe the league must generate real profit before handing out bigger checks? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next, especially if this tension leads to even bigger twists in women's basketball.